Hello. In this tutorial, I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks to get you started so that you can create a piece inspired by Tawny Chatmon. Now, in this artist's work, they are really interested in creating sort of these very mystical portraits because of the layered images that they have on them. As you can see in my example, I have layered butterfly wings, light bulbs, a galaxy background, and I'm kind of positioned myself in sort of an unusual way. You can choose to do a more traditional pose for this portrait, or you can do something that's a little bit more untraditional like what I've done. Now, the website that I would recommend to use to get these images that you're going to use to put on here is called Pixabay. So I use, for example, this galaxy background. You can use, when you go to pixabay.com, you can put in the keyword for what you want to use, and then it will tell you what you can use for free. This one was free for commercial use. I didn't have to attribute the artist. A lot of the images on Pixabay are like that, so that's why I recommend using that. If you find an image that you like let me go back to butterfly wings, for example. If you find an image that you like, what you would do is click on that image, see what is the attribution of it, and then you can right click on the image, copy image, and then when you go into Pixlr, you would paste it. So I'm going to paste that image here. So you can see I have that image is added on a layer along with all my other layers. Now you may be wondering, well, how did you get it so that it was just your face with the galaxy background, or just the light bulb with the galaxy background, or just the butterfly? Well, you already have learned how to take an image and put it on there and make it bigger. So that's how I did the galaxy background. Now, if I just want to take certain segmented parts, like I just want the butterfly wings, what I'm going to do is use what's known as the lasso tool. And I'm going to highlight and draw like a line around the area that is the only thing I want to be copied. So I just want that area to be copied. And then I'm going to copy and paste that area alone. So now I just have this set of butterfly wings here that I can use. Well, you might also notice that there's these, they're kind of see-through here. So I am going to actually click on the three dots, go to transparency, and make it less transparent or less opaque, make it more transparent. And then that allows it to have that sort of see-through look. If you don't like the edge, you can always go through and use the eraser tool, which is what I did around the face and some of the other things to make it a little bit smoother. Then I can use the move tool and really move this wherever I'd like. So I like the contrast of this against the yellow. I think this gives it a little bit more of a sort of interesting effect. I'm actually going to make a duplicate of that layer, and I'll move that one kind of over here, and using the rotate, I can rotate it so that it goes kind of exactly how I want. No. So you have some limitations in terms of what you can do, but that's okay. And I could keep putting these on here. Like I can make as many duplicates as I would like for that image. And I can also change the size of it to make it bigger or smaller. So maybe I want this one to be way back here as a continuation. Now, each of these layers you can see is something different. I did the same thing with the light bulb where I used the lasso tool to lasso around. I did some additional adjustments with brightness, contrast, and making it how I'd like to make it. But the big thing is taking sort of other things and editing your picture so that it has this unusual or surreal look to it. It looks in a way that could never really look in real life. And it's really up to you. Like, I can keep being inspired and adding on to where things are located so that I give more and more of that feeling of sort of the way that I'd like for this to look. Once you get it to be how you want it to be, like let's say I'm satisfied with where it's at, I'm going to go to File, Save, and then I'm going to change the name. And then I'm going to download it. Now you can see that with this image, I'm not going through each step with you because it takes a longer amount of time to create this image. And this is an advanced level tutorial, meaning that you should already know how to do some of these things with adjusting the color, contrast, that kind of stuff, as well as be willing to play around with your layers and how you layer things on. You've gotten already a little bit of experience with that with our first projects, and so with this one it just really opens up some more possibilities for you using Tawny Chatmon as our inspiration. So I'm really excited to see what you do, what kind of images you choose. I chose light bulbs and butterfly wings because I'm thinking about ideas and change, and so I think those two things are really interesting, which is why I chose them. But you can choose really whatever you like. I know with that artist's work, they're really interested in sort of natural elements, so thinking about nature and sort of how do you experience nature and how can you show that through your work. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you make, and remember to upload your work to Artsonia when you are finished.